Good morning and welcome to the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union. I'm Jason Vincent. I am excited to be back for another year, another historic weekend in Duluth at the Duluth International Airport. If you are at home enjoying this live broadcast on YouTube, please share it with your friends so they can also enjoy the excitement of the 2026 Duluth Airshow. We're going to be sharing information that will hopefully make your visit here as seamless as possible and focus on the excitement that's happening in the air, on the tarmac, and in the hangars. We're also going to be having some performer interviews throughout the next hour and a half, as well as some air show supporters, and also help you prepare yourself for your visit here to the airport. So let's kick off this first half hour with a look at the weather. And today's big weather story is going to be the heat. It is expected to reach into the mid-80s today, surpass 90 degrees tomorrow, but here at the Duluth International Airport, it is going to feel even warmer than that on the black tarmac. So here's a few important reminders for you. Please make sure you are packing sunscreen. Also, it's a great idea to have some sunglasses, maybe even a hat, and of course, drink plenty of water so you are staying hydrated. As you can see from our live shot over the air show grounds, there's not a cloud in the sky, so that sun will be shining all day. Make sure to consult your favorite weather app before heading out the door today, and just make sure nothing has changed. Well, let's take a look at what it takes to put on an air show of this size every single year. It is essentially unheard of for a community of our size to have a major air show every year, and yet here we are again in 2026. The first Duluth Air and Aviation Expo, produced by Kern & Company, was held back in 2001. It was every 2 years through 2016, and then it became an annual tradition. Here's another interesting fact. The Duluth Air Show, it is the largest ticketed event north of the Twin Cities. It is bringing in 50,000 spectators over this weekend. And all of those people are helping generate more money for our local economy. It's expected to help boost about $20 million into our tourism economy. And one interesting note, this is the only major air show in the upper Midwest this year, right here in Duluth, Minnesota. So let's learn more about this year's fantastic Duluth Air and Aviation Expo from Mr. Duluth Air Show himself. We're going to bring Ryan Kern to the stage here to tell us about what's new this year, what's exciting, and also the fun that we are going to have with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, who are our premier demonstration team this year. But there's also a ton of other exciting things happening this year that we can't wait to tell you about. So Ryan will be with us here in just a couple of minutes. We also here in this half hour, we've got the Mayor of Duluth, Mayor Roger Reinert, is joining us. So Ryan, come on up. Let's start with you. Thank you for joining us here on our stage, which is also your stage.
It is, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So tell us about the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo.
Well, there's a lot going on. We're really excited. The U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds are headlining this year. They were here a couple years ago. They did a great show, great performance, and we're just overall excited. We've got an amazing static lineup this year and a whole slew of new performers that we've never seen at the air show until this year. So we're very excited to see a brand new show that most people have never seen.
We also have a really great local connection this year with the U.S. Thunderbirds. Can you tell us about that gentleman?
Well, it's very rare when you get somebody local performing in the air show. It's even more rare when they're part of one of the major demonstration teams. And in this particular case, the commanding officer of the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, Boss, is also from Esco, Minnesota. And so he'll be coming home. Well, he's already home right now, of course. Extremely excited. He and his family have been actively engaging in the community, going to looking at all the sights and sounds of what, after he left. I think he grew up here until he was 15 years old and then moved. So he's really excited to be back here. We're really excited to have him and his family here in Duluth.
One of the other exciting things that you have that's been about 20 years since you've had it is a wing walker. Tell us about that.
Well, it's something I wouldn't do. I can tell you that for sure. That's not on my bucket list. So we haven't had a wing walker in about 20 years, and we had an opportunity working with our friends at Renewal by Anderson this year, and I had a great conversation with MJ Christner, and I pitched an idea. I'm like, hey, we've never had a wing walker, and we started having some dialogue about it, and she said we should have a wing walker this year. And we started, like I said, more dialogue led to like trying to find a wing walker, and we were able to find Carol Pilon out of Canada. And so with the help of Renewal by Anderson, we were able to bring her in and perform this year.
That is amazing. How long does it take to put an event like this together? This is not a short process of putting this massive show together.
No, it really isn't. I would love to say it's an easy process. It's not. We spend about a year and a half producing each air show. So we've been working this air show. The day the Blue Angels left last year, the following day, we were already into this show trying to build it. So starting on Monday of next week, we'll be doing the exact same thing as we look forward to 2027.
And before we say goodbye to you, the air show community itself also said a big goodbye this year, right before the air show, unfortunately. Can you tell us a little bit about this gentleman who has meant so much to the aviation community?
Yeah, not across North America. George Klein has been our air boss for almost 20 years at the Duluth Airshow, and he passed away earlier this week on Wednesday. So it's really sad, and we're devastated, obviously. His son, Brad, has stepped up. We didn't think Brad was going to come and air boss our show, but his son Brad is here taking over the mantle from his dad, and so we do have a Klein here at this year's air show bossing the show for us.
That's wonderful. Ryan, thank you for joining us. Have another terrific air show, and we look forward to seeing what the weekend has to offer. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our partners and sponsors for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please help us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, Cirrus Aircraft, Edward Jones,
Synovus Superior Refinery,
Kern & Company. Official aircraft services are provided by Vantage Aviation, B105 FM,
Northern News Now,
St. Louis County, Jimmy John's, Chase Security, J.R. Jensen Construction, Pier B Resort, Como Oil and Propane, Arrowhead Printing, and the City of Duluth.
It's the call answered at midnight. The answer found in time. The fear made smaller. And the dream made bigger. It's care across specialties and specialists who care. This is who we are. And every moment, every heartbeat, every tomorrow is what we care about.
For 90 years, we believed something simple, that the heart of a community isn't made of brick or stone. It's made of people. People who trust us with their dreams, their milestones, and the moments that shape a life. We've stood by our members because peace of mind is the greatest return we can offer. So here's to our members, to 90 years of stories, and to the many still to come. Members Cooperative Credit Union. Stronger communities, happier employees, a better world. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo, brought to you by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union. I have the pleasure of speaking with Duluth's Mayor, Roger Reinert, now, who is joining us, who has a very long history with the Duluth Air and Aviation Expo himself. Great to have you again with us. A big event for the city of Duluth. Let's talk about that economic impact. We mentioned it briefly before you came on, $20 million, but it's more than just money.
No, it's absolutely more than money. And I do want to start with that impact in and of itself, right? So we see the Duluth Airshow becoming one of our signature events in the entire calendar in a community that's known for tourism, known for events. You know, the Duluth Airshow, Grandma's Marathon, Bentleyville, these are blocks that we build everything else around. But like you said, Jason, they also have an implication that's further than just the hotel, motel, food, beverage. You know, in Duluth, a sales tax that helps us pay for operations city year round. It's also that name brand recognition. You know, as mayor, I get to travel. People have heard of Duluth, a community of 90,000 people across the country, and it's because of events like the Duluth Airshow.
I think what people forget too is when you have an event like this that's contributing to the sales tax base, that helps all of us that are living here.
Yeah. You know, I don't hear it as much with the air show. Sometimes it's events like Grandma's Marathon that kind of take over the city proper, where you might get some grumbling. And I get to remind folks, you know, these visitors that are with us are spending money that we then spend all year round to do things like fix our streets, remove snow, improve our parks, have library programs, things like that.
So what is the city's role in helping facilitate a massive event like this?
You know, it really is a full, you know, you talked about how we're one of the smallest communities to do an air show of this size. So it really is a whole community event. And from City Hall, it's an entire city event as well. Everything from our planning staff working on the permitting side of things. Of course, you see our public works team that's helping with the street closures and helping move traffic around. And then, of course, public safety. When folks come today, they'll see both Duluth Police and Duluth Fire are out here, not only helping direct traffic, being here as a public safety presence, but as you noted, we have a hot weekend on tap for us. And so, you know, we're ready if in case folks have any medical emergencies as well.
Well, it'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Duluth International Airport. We're here, and one of the big wins locally and statewide was getting the funds that were needed to get the new air traffic control tower going. Can you talk about what a big win that was for our community?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I parked this morning. I'm walking over, and somebody's like, "Hey, Mayor, you don't walk. I'll give you a golf cart ride." And so as we're riding over, we drove by where the tower is already under construction, and I mentioned to the volunteers that were helping, like, that's where the new airport tower is going to be. And one of them noted they knew that it was one of the oldest in the country, actually the second oldest in all of the United States of America. A tower that was too close to the flight line, obstructed the appropriate sight lines for the important work that our 148th Air National Guard Bulldogs do, position planes in places that were not ideal. So incredibly important for the future of the airport to have a modern tower. Kudos to Tom Werner, the executive director at the airport, his team, for really using state and federal dollars well to leverage local resources to get that project not just across the finish line, but already underway. As we know, every day with inflation, prices go up. So the longer you wait to do a critical project like that, the more expensive it is.
Well, we're going to be coming up on another legislative session before you know it. It feels like we just ended it, but we'll be starting it again. What are some of the big priorities that the city will be going for? And hopefully we have a bonding bill that will help out the city. What are some major initiatives you're looking at?
Yeah, just before I go there, I'd be remiss not to mention while we talk about the Duluth Airport, one of the real advantages Duluth has is we have all of the forms of transportation. So unique for a community, not just in Minnesota, but all of the upper Midwest. You know, we have road, we have rail, we have an international airport where folks can do clear customs, do their tech stops, and we have the largest port on the entire Great Lakes system. So that has really been incredibly important for Duluth on our economic front. You know, as we see manufacturers and industries choosing Duluth in order to take advantage of all of those systems. So in answer to your question, what we'll be looking at next year really is prioritizing the heart of our community, and that's our downtown. You know, as we continue to do well on all of those fronts, we want to have a downtown that's thriving like other communities do as well. And of course, Duluth not unique amongst communities post-COVID, as we've seen that shift away from in-person workforce. Our big challenge is converting commercial space to residential.
One of the big priorities, too, for the city is to continue building on that aviation industry. Can you talk about what initiatives you have in the works to keep helping Cirrus and some of the other aviation folks here in town?
You know, and I think folks don't always see all of the interconnections in the aviation industry. You mentioned Cirrus, of course. The 148th is one of our region's largest employers, and of course, a great infusion of capital back into our local economy. But then we have all sorts of secondary and tertiary industries that support those major employers in Duluth, in our neighbors throughout the region. So you'll see us continue to focus on aviation as a growing economic sector. You'll see us doing more with the autonomous part of that manufacturing economy. And frankly, you're going to see us continue to push as hard as we can on increasing our housing stock. Cirrus, like many of our other manufacturers, would already be expanding production if they had the workforce, and the limitation on the workforce is the housing that folks can afford in our community.
All right, Mayor, I've taken up all of your time. Enjoy the air show. Do you get to get out and enjoy a little bit of the weekend?
Today is the day that I'll take in the air show myself. I'm a pilot. I love the air show, not just for what it does for the community, but also just the opportunity folks have to see aircraft we don't always get to see here.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us again, Mayor. All right, we're going to take a quick break and thank our sponsors who help make today possible.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, Spear AI, Burnix, Miners Super One Foods, Waste Management, the Sheraton Hotel, the City of Hermantown, Blackwood Grill, the 148th Fighter Wing, Renewal by Anderson, the Bong Veterans Center, Caliber Collision, the Boat Club Restaurant, Miller Lite, Fleet Farm, Kraus Anderson,
Sinet Blacktop.
and Minnesota Power.
Welcome back, everyone. The headlining demonstration, the team this year, is, of course, the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. And joining me now to preview their visit here to Duluth is Lieutenant Colonel Tyler Keener. Lieutenant Colonel, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having us. We're thrilled to be here.
We'll talk about this historic visit in Duluth and what it means for your team to be here.
This is a beautiful show site. It's one that's very, very popular amongst our team, and we look forward to this every year, and it's welcoming us in the best way possible with this lovely weather and amazing people. So thank you for having us.
Well, let's talk about this local connection. It's kind of been one of the big stories for us this year, which has been great. Commander Prevendar, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, leading the team, hailing from ESCO. What does it mean to have that local connection amongst your team to the community you're in?
So I won't try to speak for him too much, but I can only imagine how special it is. We try to downplay the things that have more personal meaning to us as we are part of this team construct, but it's always special. He is thrilled to be back with all the family support. He's got his whole family out here supporting him and the team throughout the weekend. So you really can't understate how special something like that is with a homecoming with such a high-profile event.
Can you tell us a little bit about the mission of the United States Air Force Thunderbirds?
Yes, sir. So we seek to recruit, retain, and inspire. So recruit the next generation, retain the generation that we already have, and then inspire future generations. It's very, very important to us. But we also look to inspire something in people, whether they are military affiliated or not, to just achieve something more and to dream big. So we do that through excelling in air shows, showing what exceptional teamwork can look like and what a lot of effort put into a singular focus can achieve.
Does your visit also involve getting involved with the community that you're visiting?
Always. The more we can be involved with the community, the better. We love flying jets, but I always say that the highlight of this job is the people. Not only the people on the team, but the people within the community. That's the whole reason we do what we do.
Well, give us a little preview. What are we going to see today in the sky as part of your major demonstration for us?
So we have beautiful Minnesota weather. We will send our Delta up into what we call our high show, as long as we have the cloud layers to achieve that. So we can go uphill, go do loops and rolls and all of the marquee maneuvers that our team is known for.
How often do you get to do that high show? Do you find yourself more often having weather play a big factor?
So we've been pretty lucky this year, I would say. We've gotten some great high shows, marked by the first time a jet team has ever flown a high show over the National Mall last week over DC, which was very cool. We've been lucky but we also, I don't downplay the shows that go lower because of clouds. They're still exceptional. So if that happens today, enjoy it because it's great.
Well, Lieutenant Colonel Tyler Keener, thanks for being a part of our show today. Enjoy being up in the sky with your team, and we look forward to seeing you back here again. Thank you for joining us. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, Lakeshore Ice, the Holiday Inn and Suites downtown Duluth, Circle K, the Comfort Inn, the Hampton Inn, Canal Park Lodge, Lake Superior College, True by Hilton, Halver Lines, Lift Bridge Lodge, Arrow Point Medical Center, the Duluth International Airport, Suites at Waterfront, MLV Minnesota, and Northrop Grumman.
For 90 years, we believed something simple, that the heart of a community isn't made of brick or stone. It's made of people. People who trust us with their dreams, their milestones, and the moments that shape a life. We've stood by our members because peace of mind is the greatest return we can offer. So here's to our members, to 90 years of stories, and to the many still to come. Members Cooperative Credit Union. Stronger communities, happier employees, a better world. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, an air show of this size and magnitude would not be possible without the support of our business community. And one of those local businesses who have stepped up this year is one of our premier sponsors, Members Cooperative Credit Union. And I'm joined by Marty Kelly, who is going to talk a little bit about this partnership this year. You've been a part of the air show for about 10 years now, but decided to make this step up. Tell us about why you decided to get a little more involved this year.
Thanks, Jason. Members Cooperative, we're celebrating 90 years in business, serving the Duluth community. And we thought, that's always a time to reflect, to kind of look back. And as we were kind of assessing things, we said, hey, we need to be part of something that is a big part of this community in a bigger way. So we just decided to, go a little bit bigger with the air show this year and serve as a presenting partner with our friends at Essentia Health. It's been awesome.
90 years is nothing to sneeze at. That's a long time to be in a community. Congratulations. Well, I've been seeing that advertising with the cow in the flight gear. What prompted that as your messaging?
A little different and kind of a funny story. We're big sponsors of Grandma's Marathon as well. And as you know, the cowbell tradition just kind of prompted the cow advertising. Well, not just my staff, but it seemed like the community has fallen in love with cash cows, so we decided to turn him into Ace, the financial co-pilot for the Duluth Airshow.
It's things like that that get people talking, and they remember you, so great job. Well, tell us a little bit about Members Cooperative Credit Union and what you have to offer folks.
Sure, it is a mouthful, I know, and it seems like a complicated name, but there's nothing really complicated about it. We're a financial institution. We provide financial services to the community. We're just different. We're structured different than a bank. So we act like a bank in many ways, but we're not for profit, and we're owned by the people that we serve. So we just feel like we're giving more back to the people who do business with us. And it's a relatively simple model with an extraordinarily complicated name attached to it.
Yeah, I haven't screwed it up yet. I'd just like to say 30 minutes we've been doing this. I haven't yet, but we'll see what happens. So speaking of financially helping the communities you're in, there's a great project you have called Project Horizon. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Very, very new. Also one of those 90-year, let's look back, let's look forward. We said, let's find something that supports, that's good for the community, that is outside of traditional financial services. And as we dug into this, we saw that mental well-being was greatly tied to financial well-being. So we've put all of our effort going forward into supporting mental health, mental crisis. We have positioned all of our contribution dollars in that direction, our volunteerism efforts, and just simply helping to get the word out. We've partnered locally with Brightwater Health. We're sponsoring their new walk-in clinic. We just have a lot that we want to do. There's a lot that can be done to support mental well-being.
That's a huge effort.
Yeah, it is. It's no small project, but we're ready for it. We've got a staff of 200 that last year did about almost 5,000 hours of community service. So they're excited, they're active, and to have something to focus on is truly extraordinary for them.
Well, let's talk other non-related members cooperative credit union. What are you most excited about for the air show this weekend? Do you get to be a part of it and see what's happening in the sky?
I'm an extreme novice. This is my very first air show, so I am learning all about everything. I can tell you, I think my favorite part, well, so far, I got to go up in a B-25 yesterday. I've been texting friends that I have not spoken to in years just to show off the photographs. It was outstanding. Just what an incredible experience.
Tell me a little bit about that experience. I mean, what was it like?
Well, from the flight suit on, I just thought I looked pretty cool, and yeah, it's just amazing to be a part of it. You're casual and relaxed up there, but it also gives you moments to reflect on the individuals that literally fought in wars and served for our country, and they were not as relaxed and enjoying things as I was up there, but it was quite the experience. One I'll never forget.
Marty, that is an experience. Congratulations on that. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this year's air show. It's great to have you as a partner, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you again.
Thank you, Jason.
Yes, you bet. All right, we are just getting started here at the 2026 Air and Aviation Expo, brought to you by Members Cooperative Credit Union and Essentia Health. In the next half hour, we do have the folks from the 148th Fighter Wing. They're neighbors just near us here. They're going to stop and talk about their partnership. Plus, local aviation company Cirrus is also here. Stay with us. We will be back shortly.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, TKI, the Ridgeview Country Club, DQ Grill and Chill, Daymark Designs, Northland Fitness, Grandma's Restaurant, The Residence Inn, Johnson, Killen and Sealord, Brame Corner Gallery, Anytime Fitness, Country Inn and Suites, Audiovisual Resources, Lynette's Portrait Design, RS&H, Arrowhead Transit, RJ Sport and Cycle, Jamar, Destination Duluth, Barker's Island Inn and Resort, and the Holiday Inn Express.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about what you're pulling in and more about what you're putting out there. Rich is being there for their first step.
What do you think of it?
And sometimes letting them have the last word. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts. Edward Jones.
Open your eyes.
Every day, people around the world are discovering what it means to fly for themselves in a Cirrus. Start your journey in personal aviation by visiting cirrusaircraft.com.
Good morning and welcome to the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union. Take a look live over the air show grounds this morning. Beautiful, clear skies, a wonderful weekend to be out in Duluth. I'm Jason Vincent, and I'm your host for the next hour of this air show pre-show, and it is so great to be back celebrating another historic weekend with you. If you're at home enjoying our air show pre-show on YouTube, please share it with your friends so they can also enjoy all of the excitement that is building here at the Duluth International Airport. For the next hour, we're going to be sharing information that will help make make your visit to the air show seamless, focused on the sky and not on the tarmac and in the hangars and all the excitement that we have to offer. We're also going to be bringing up some performers and air show supporters to talk with them, and you're going to learn more about their stories and impact here on this year's show. Well, for those of you who are still at home, we want to make sure you have the latest parking information. Pre-purchase your parking ahead of time. Only go to DuluthAirshow.com. Again, DuluthAirshow.com to purchase your parking. Those tickets are not sold anywhere else, so please beware of scammers that are trying to sell you other types of parking. For today, the orange lot is sold out. As of now, teal and green are still available. Remember, patience are key. You are coming to a large event with large crowds, so those lines will be long. Waits can be long. The parking lots, they're all run by our amazing team of volunteers to help raise money for their organization. So know that they are working hard to make this event as smooth as possible. We also want to share some insider tips with you to help make your visit here the best it possibly can. First and foremost, please make sure to bring some ear protection, especially for those little ones. Some of those planes are quite loud. The announcer does do a good job of letting the crowd know when earplugs are needed. Essentia Health also is handing out free foam earplugs, but those don't always work well with the little kids. Also, please make sure to bring a bag chair if you're in general seating. Unless you're in the Presidential Chalet or Flight Line, you will need to bring your own seat. Also, plan to eat on site, as outside food is not allowed. Cash is a good thing to have on hand, but vendors do take cash or debit cards. And an insider tip for later today: use those restrooms before you start heading to your car, because it could be a little bit long of a wait to get out of the parking lot and back home this afternoon. And finally, if you're taking pictures and enjoying the day, please make sure to tag us, Duluth Airshow. We'd love to see all those fun, exciting photos that you have from this historic weekend. Well, joining me on stage now is Heather Wink. She is with Cirrus Aircraft, one of our neighbors here at the Duluth International Airport. Heather, thanks for being a part of the show today.
Yes, thanks so much for having us. Happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what Air Show Weekend means for you folks over at Cirrus.
Yeah, we've been a supporter of the Air Show for 26 years, and it means a number of things. So we provide volunteers for this event with our employees, and then also just the logistics of, moving our aircraft. So we moved 50 aircraft to be able to accommodate the show this weekend.
Well, tell us a little bit about what Cirrus is for those who may not be aware of the huge company you are in our community.
Absolutely. So I'll bring it back a little bit. Cirrus was founded by two brothers in Baraboo, Wisconsin, and headquarters moved here to Duluth in about the mid-1990s. So we've had some time here in Duluth, and we're really known for our aircraft, of course. So we have the world's best-selling single-engine piston aircraft, which is our SR series, as well as the world's first personal jet, the Vision Jet. And all of that is manufactured right here in Duluth, just down the runway.
I had a chance to actually take a ride in one of the Cirrus jets a couple months ago. It is such a smooth, beautiful ride.
Oh my gosh, it's incredibly stunning. And one thing I should mention as well is all of our aircraft do come equipped with a whole airframe parachute, which is CAPS. CAPS stands for Cirrus Airframe Parachute System. So really it sets us apart in the industry.
Well, tell us what is new with Cirrus. You have a lot of stuff that's coming in the works.
Yes, just thinking about our performance. So end of year 2025, we had 797 deliveries. So we're very busy and continue to be so. And we are always investing in our team, in our community, our customers and our owners. And we recently just opened the Cirrus Talent Center just down on Stebner Road here in Hermantown. We had our grand opening on June 26th.
So tell us a little bit about what a talent center does and why the focus was there to create that.
Absolutely. So we're continuing to grow our footprint here in Duluth, in Hermantown, really marking our roots here. But our talent center is focused on recruitment and training of our team members as well as our new hires. So we actually have a series of events this summer for open interviews. Every Wednesday at the talent center, 3 to 6 p.m., we have open interviews for our roles in manufacturing. And then we also have next Saturday, July 18th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., another round of open interviews. So if you're curious about aviation and careers in aviation or just Cirrus, we encourage you to stop by.
Besides going to the Talent Center, is there another location people can find out about job openings?
Oh, absolutely. Our website open 24/7, so cirrusaircraft.com/careers.
Excellent. Heather, thank you for being a part of our show. We appreciate it. And thank you for always being such a big supporter.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break and also thank the other supporters who are making this weekend happen.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our partners and sponsors for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please help us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, Cirrus Aircraft, Edward Jones,
Synovus Superior Refinery,
Kern & Company. Official aircraft services are provided by Vantage Aviation, B105 FM,
Northern News Now,
St. Louis County, Jimmy John's, Chase Security, J.R. Jensen Construction, Pier B Resort, Como Oil and Propane, Arrowhead Printing, and the City of Duluth.
It's the call answered at midnight. The answer found in time. The fear made smaller. And the dream made bigger. It's care across specialties and specialists who care. This is who we are. And every moment, every heartbeat, every tomorrow is what we care about.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about what you're pulling in and more about what you're putting out there. Rich is being there for their first step.
What do you think of it?
And sometimes letting them have the last word. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts. Edward Jones.
Welcome back to the Air Show pre-show live from the Duluth International Airport. Look at all those folks heading in the door. They just opened the gates and the folks are coming on in, claiming their seats. And look, they are smart Air Show people because they've got their bag chairs with them. Don't forget to bring your bag chair. You do not want to be sitting on the cement. All right, well, we get to call these folks over at the 148th Fighter Wing our neighbors and see their aircraft regularly. And so to learn a little bit more about their impact, we welcome Colonel Kurt Grayson from the 148th. Great to see you again. Thanks for being with us.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Well, tell us a little bit about what the 148th Fighter Wing does.
Okay. Well, yeah, the 148th Fighter Wing's been here at Duluth for over almost 77 years, and we currently fly Block 50 F-16s. We do both the Homeland Defense mission. We're currently sitting alert on the Homeland Defense mission down in Homestead, Florida. So we send pilots, maintainers down there. We do that every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We also do the federal mission, depending on where the federal government needs us, wants us. We can deploy anywhere in the world. And then we also support the Homeland community here in Duluth. We've got our firefighters that you see out here across the field. That protect not only the Duluth airport, also the surrounding area. So we're kind of all over in the community and the world.
And you're also a big part of the Duluth Air and Aviation Expo, not only in the skies, but also the expo. So let's start with the skies. How does your team take part in that?
Okay, yeah, of course. This morning we're going to actually start the show off. We're going to have two of our Block 50 F-16s. Basically, they're going to take off actually before the show starts, they're going to actually go to the airspace. We've got another community up north. Hibbing is having a little expo, so they're going to do a flyby over Hibbing on their way back. And then we're going to open the show here as the national anthem, those types of things start playing, and they're going to just do some patterns for us and kind of show off the horsepower and the performance of the F-16.
Yeah, I read on Facebook actually yesterday that it was the Hibbing Jubilee Days. You guys are going to be doing the flyover. That's very cool. Now let's talk about the Aviation Expo, which is also a huge part of what folks can take part in here at the show. How do you guys incorporate the 148th into that expo?
Right. So actually, we have a lot of volunteers that are even helping with not only just the expo, but actually volunteering and helping with the staff here. We work together with the Thunderbirds. Obviously, they need some support, so we work with them. Recruiting teams, all those types of things, with all the sister services to include the Air National Guard and the Minnesota National Guard. So we're kind of all over the place in different areas.
How does this event also help with recruitment? Because that is obviously a big part of what you do at the 148th.
Exactly, and that's a big part of it. We're always trying to recruit more members. You can see all that when they panned all those kids walking in, they see airplanes for the first time, and it sparks their interest. You see a F-16 and you ask your dad, where are they from? And they're right across the ramp right there. And as they grow up, they remember it. Many kids will come through and say, well, the first time I was interested in aviation was at the air show in Duluth X many years ago. So it does spark the interest of the kids when they come here, so it's great.
And part of getting folks interested in the 148th is also doing community outreach. Can you talk a little bit about what you do as part of that initiative?
Yeah, exactly. We, we're like I mentioned before, we're a big part of the community in various different ways. Most of our employees, about half of them, so we had about 1,100 employees. Over half of them are actually in the community doing other civilian jobs. So when you say outreach, our employees are down at the hospitals. They're out at the fire departments. They're in the police force. They're all over the community. So they represent the community and the 148th. That's what's neat about the 148th and the Air National Guard.
If someone's interested in learning more about the 148th, what is their best path to take?
Yeah, the easiest is just to get online, go to our 148th home website there, and you'll see recruiters' phone numbers. You can email them, you can call them, you can text them, you can do any of that types of things. They'll be happy to bring you up to the base, show you around, show you all the different jobs that we have available. A lot of people think, oh, I got to be a pilot or I've got to be a maintainer. Well, guess what? We've got bankers, lawyers, medics, all the services, anything you can imagine. We are our own little city, and just because you're a doctor on the outside, guess what? You could be something totally different. You could be a mechanic at the base. So it's kind of neat that we've got different people from different walks of life doing different things. So we got options.
Colonel Grayson with the 148th Fighter Wing, thanks for joining us again. It's great to see you. Enjoy your weekend here in Duluth. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this message.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, Spear AI, Burnix, Miners Super One Foods, Waste Management, the Sheraton Hotel, the City of Hermantown, Blackwood Grill, the 148th Fighter Wing, Renewal by Anderson, the Bong Veterans Center, Caliber Collision, the Boat Club Restaurant, Miller Lite, Fleet Farm, Kraus Anderson,
Sinet Blacktop,
and Minnesota Power.
Open your eyes. Open your
Every day, people around the world are discovering what it means to fly for themselves in a Cirrus.
finding my way through the dark. Open your eyes.
Start your journey in personal aviation by visiting cirrusaircraft.com.
For 90 years, we believed something simple, that the heart of a community isn't made of brick or stone. It's made of people. People who trust us with their dreams, their milestones, and the moments that shape a life. We've stood by our members because peace of mind is the greatest return we can offer. So here's to our members, to 90 years of stories, and to the many still to come. Members Cooperative Credit Union. Stronger communities, happier employees, a better world. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
Well, welcome back to the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo. Oh, here we are inside the presidential chalet. Look at what's behind us. The U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds are lined up, ready to go. But you know what? I've got someone who's even more fantastic than those planes behind me. She is an all-amazing person. We're joined by an air show regular for many, many years. Brianna Johnson, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
Tell us a little bit about your role within the organization here.
So I work with Jean, and I help coordinate the experience here in the presidential chalet. This is by far the best place to experience the air show. People come here at the front row seating at center place in the entire air show where you have tent. You can have from the sun, coverage if it is raining outside. And we have fabulous lunch catered by Blackwoods. It's really a great experience. Also, little known fact, the performers come in here for their lunch. So you can be rubbing elbows with Thunderbirds while you're waiting in line for your lunch, get some autographs. It's just a great place to hang out and really worth the experience.
So just want to take advantage of this experience maybe in a few years. What's the best way for them to learn about how to get this experience?
All of the information is on the website, but people can actually upgrade. So if they have a general idea, they can come over to the tent, and we're happy to upgrade them today as well.
Tomorrow as well?
Absolutely.
Good to know. Not only are you a part of the Duluth Air Show, the Heart Association, but you are also a member of the Duluth Airport Authority. And we're here on the airport grounds. Can about all the exciting things that are happening with the Duluth International Airport.
There is a lot going on. The airport is always busy doing renovations. A lot of people are probably aware of the years that we spent renovating our taxiways, but recently we've broken ground on a new air traffic control tower. A project that's been years in the making. We have, I think, second or third oldest operating air traffic control tower in the country. Not a statistic you're proud of. So we are so glad there's been a really concerted effort at Capitol to get the funding, state funding, federal funding, local funding, in order to make this project come to fruition. Around, and I think in about 20 months, brand new air control tower.
And it's one of the things that a person doesn't see, but it's one of the most crucial things of being a part of the airport.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for being a part of the air show this weekend. We appreciate everything for us. We're going to take a quick break. Our sponsors will be right back.
The Duluth Air Show, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, Lakeshore Ice, the Holiday Inn and Suites, downtown Duluth, Circle K, the Comfort Inn, the Hampton Inn, Canal Park Lodge, Lake Superior College, True by Hilton, Halver Lines, Lift Bridge Lodge, Arrow Point Medical Center, the Duluth International Airport, Suites at Waterfront, MLV Minnesota, and Northrop Grumman.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about what you're pulling in and more about what you're putting out there. Rich is being there for their first step.
What do you think of it?
And sometimes letting them have the last word. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts. Edward Jones.
It's the call answered at midnight. The answer found in time. The fear made smaller. And the dream made bigger. It's care across specialties and specialists who care. This is who we are. And every moment, every heartbeat, every tomorrow is what we care about.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo. Some of the most important folks here this year are the medical team. They're going to be helping keep us healthy all weekend long. And this weekend, it's the heat. They're going to be a very busy team. And joining us is Dr. Jennifer Merlis from Essentia Health. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. We appreciate it. Talk to us a little bit about what the main precautions are going to be for people this weekend.
One is obviously to keep yourself cool. So make sure you are drinking plenty of water, staying in shade when you need to, have sunscreen, sunglasses, and hats. If you are feeling sick, seek out shade because we are on a big tarmac that's going to be a lot warmer than the air temperature. So making sure you're staying hydrated and cool are probably the number 1 and 2 important things.
I think people forget about the impact of the blacktop tarmac and how that can affect you. It may feel like a wonderful 75 degrees on the way here, but when you get out on the airport tarmac, it's a whole different feeling.
It really is, and the sun will radiate off that. You'll be at a higher risk of sunburn, and you don't even realize it. But yes, it definitely protect yourself because that's a big open concrete and tarmac.
Yeah. What are some of the most common reasons that guests come and visit you at the medical tent, unfortunately?
Yeah. So we've had a few things like chest pain, but a lot of them are people who are about to pass out or do pass out. So it's usually heat-related, dehydration-related, on top of medications and just exposure. So the lightheaded and dizzy are probably the more common complaints. And then we have people who trip and fall and scrape themselves. Or people just want earplugs.
Earplugs are very important. And you at Essentia Health are giving them away. So right when you come into the big air show hangar we're here, they've got big baskets of earplugs. So don't forget to grab those. Let's talk about symptoms because heat is going to be a huge issue. So what should people be looking for or feeling to know that they may be in trouble?
So lightheadedness and dizziness are probably the first things that people will notice. Increased sweating, nausea, or feeling like you're going to pass out. Headaches can also come along with that. That's heat exposure and heat exhaustion. On the far end of it, it would be heat stroke, where you actually stop sweating and are overheated, and your body temperature is rising, 104, 105 degrees. But we don't really see that as much as just heat exhaustion or heat exposure.
And while I'm sure all fluids are a good thing to get in your body, water is probably the most important, isn't it?
Absolutely. Water, Gatorade, Pedialyte, those kind of things. Everybody wants an ice cold beer. Beer's not the best idea on a hot day, particularly like this. It's a diuretic. It'll make you pee off extra fluids. And on particularly our elderly crew who's already on a lot of medications to control things like blood pressure, that's just going to compound things. So water, water, water.
I've got my eye on that big sugary icy slushy. What about that? Because that's going to help me cool off, but probably is counteractive.
Yeah, actually it may not be as bad. I mean, the sugar helps draw fluids in through our cells, like from our gut into our cells. So the sugar is actually a good thing. Sugar is in Gatorade for that very reason. The bigger problems are more things like caffeine or alcohol that will help you kind of get rid of excess fluids, which you don't want.
So you are just one member of the Essentia medical team. How many other people on your team make up this event?
So we have a group of volunteer nurses, so anywhere from 3 to 5 nurses per shift. We do 2 shifts a day. And then myself, I'm the only physician. We have 2 paramedics that are with Essentia that run the rig here for transport, and then we also work closely with St. Louis Sheriff's Rescue.
So you told me before we started this interview that this is your 4th year, maybe 4th or 5th. Well, it all blends together, right? What keeps you coming back every year?
I just really enjoy it. I enjoy the environment. I enjoy working outside of the hospital a little bit and giving back to the community. I do love jets, so I like seeing the planes, but it's just a different work environment and a nice way to participate in a community where we are typically kind of locked away in our department.
I just want to again reiterate for folks one more time the best steps for them to take before they come out, because tomorrow it's going to be even warmer out here at the air show. So if folks are watching this today preparing for tomorrow, let's again go over what they should do today to prepare for tomorrow.
Making sure you have hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, that you're bringing bottles so that you can refill water. We do have a water station at the medical tent. Making sure that if you need mobility devices, canes or walkers, that you're considering the large distance that you're going to be walking around here. So if you need maybe a wheelchair or a wheel-seatable walker, you're considering that. And then making sure that if you have towels or something where you can get them wet to use to cool off would also be helpful.
Really great advice. Thank you so much, Dr. Jennifer Merlis with Essentia Health. We appreciate you joining us. It's going to be a busy weekend for you. Yes, but find some time to enjoy it because there's so much happening. And speaking of, we are just getting started here. We have a lot more ahead in our next half hour. The Bong Center is here to tell us about the latest happenings at their historical center. Plus, the National Weather Service, some of our other favorite friends, will be giving an update on the forecast for this air show weekend. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, TKI, the Ridgeview Country Club, DQ Grill and Chill, Daymark Designs, Northland Fitness, Grandma's Restaurant, The Residence Inn, Johnson, Killen and Sealord, Brame Corner Gallery, Anytime Fitness, Country Inn and Suites, Audio-Visual Resources, Lynette's Portrait Design, RS&H, Arrowhead Transit, RJ Sport and Cycle, Jamar, Destination Duluth, Barker's Island Inn and Resort, and the Holiday Inn Express.
Open your eyes.
Every day, people around the world are discovering what it means to fly for themselves in a Cirrus.
Finding my way through the dark. Open your eyes.
Start your journey in personal aviation by visiting cirrusaircraft.com.
It's the call answered at midnight. The answer found in time. The fear made smaller. And the dream made bigger. It's care across specialties and specialists who care. This is who we are. And every moment, every heartbeat, every tomorrow is what we care about.
Welcome back to the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union. It is going to be a gorgeous weekend here at Air Show grounds. Taking a live look over the fields today. Look at those clear skies. Absolutely a beautiful, warm, yet warm weekend. My name's Jason Vincent. It is so great to have you here again live with us for this air show pre-show as we kick off another historic weekend in Duluth. And it's speaking of kicking off the weekend, take a look here. The doors are now open and the folks are flooding in to find their seats. Big crowd is expected today for this first day of the air show. Look at all those folks. They are smart. They've got those bag chairs with them. And I'm going to give you some of those tips here in just a minute, but they are always a great thing to have with you. All right, well, let's talk about what it takes to put on an air show of this size every year. It is essentially unheard of for a community of our size to host a Duluth an air show and aviation expo every year. But yet, here we are again. The first Duluth Air and Aviation Expo, produced by Kern & Company, was held back in 2001. It was every 2 years through 2016. Then it became an annual event. The Duluth Air Show, it is the largest ticketed event north of the Twin Cities. It's going to bring in 50,000 spectators over these 2 days, and all of those people are helping our local economy. This weekend is going to generate about $20 million in economic impact for our region. And this is an extra special weekend. The Duluth Air Show is the only air show in the upper Midwest this year, featuring a major demonstration team. And of course, that is none other than the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. Well, let's talk about some tips now, some insider tips to make that visit here to the air show as seamless as possible. First and foremost, bring some ear protection, especially for those little ones. Some of those planes that you're going to see today are quite loud. The announcer does do a really good job of letting the crowd know when earplugs are needed. Essentia Health is also handing out free foam earplugs, but those don't always work for the little ones, so it's best to bring those with you. Also, make sure you have a chair with you. See all those folks coming through the door? They've got their chairs with them. If you are in general seating, you need to have your bag chair, so make sure you have that with you. Also, plan to eat on site, as outside food is not allowed. You are allowed to bring bottled water, though, which is going to be very important on this very warm weekend. And lastly, an insider tip for you. Use the restroom before heading back to your vehicle. With any large event, there's going to be thousands of people all leaving at the exact same time. So make sure to use that porta potty before you hit your vehicle. Well, Essentia Health is returning as one of our presenting sponsors of the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo. They've been a long-time supporter, and it's great to have Eric Nelson back with us again this year. Eric, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for letting me be here, and what a day. What a day, Jason. I can't tell you how excited I am, and Essentia is to be able to be a sponsor again year after year. One of the things I think from my standpoint that is amazing is how Essentia shows up in the community. It's about that, right? And that's what drew me to Essentia Health, Jason. This notion of being embedded deeply in the communities that we serve.
So what is it about the Duluth Air and Aviation Expo that Essentia loves that partnership?
Yeah, so whether it's by providing services at the medical tent, we have amazing providers, nurses, staff, trainers that show up at all community events, whether it's the air show, Grandma's Marathon a few weeks ago. It's about providing care where the community is, schools, community events, both here in Duluth and also in many of our rural communities,
Well, and one of the big focuses for the Duluth Air and Aviation Expo is supporting veterans and service members, but that's also a big focus for Essentia. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm deeply honored to be able to work with many colleagues that are actively serving and have served our country. This year we were recognized as a military-friendly employer. So there's a deep investment in ensuring that all of our veterans that are actively serving and have served are a deep part of not only providing care for the communities that we serve, but fighting for our country. There's no more honorable thing than that.
Well, let's talk business for a moment here. Essentia just expanded therapy services. You're going to be alongside the Elite Sports Complex out in West Duluth now. Can you tell us about this new facility and what's so special about it?
Yeah, it's an amazing partnership. This last week we had our official grand opening ribbon cutting. And this partnership is really about providing therapy services, physical therapy, occupational therapy, sports, orthopedic medicine, and rehab, really at the place where activity happens. So the Elite Sports Complex is amazing. If you haven't been there, it's amazing. It's essentially a big turf field house, and they've got They've got turf for lacrosse, soccer. They've got throwing lanes. They've got pickleball. I played for the first time this last week. It was a blast, and it's about really, again, investing in where activities are happening. I'm here with my son today. He's a soccer nut. And he's thinking to himself, wow, this is amazing. I need to come here and have that, not only the care of patients who need restorative function, but the sports performance side, Jason, is just taken off. And it's about creating a model where you're really coaching and mentoring kids to have that like perfect form right as they start active sports so early now in their youth.
Well, it's one thing to be involved in sports, but it's another thing to actually excel at it and know the correct way to do it. And pickleball, I'm telling you, it's a good way to do it. You know you've really made it when you're doing pickleball. Tell me about your visit here to the air show. What is your favorite part about coming out this weekend?
Yeah, this is an amazing event, and I'm in awe, to be honest with you. I was here yesterday and had this amazing opportunity to fly in a B-25 bomber. And I'm telling you, that was a life moment for me to be able to see this World War II aircraft and experience the flight of that and just imagine myself back in the day in terms of that journey and the sacrifice our military aviators had. I think the Duluth Airshow is really about inspiration. It's about inspiring, youth to be future, maybe aviation career orientation, our service members, honoring them. And yesterday I saw the Thunderbirds practicing. I mean, that is a sight to behold. It's unbelievable.
So you are my second guest that has now said they've flown in this B-52. I feel like I missed out on something. I got to talk to Ryan and figure out what I'm doing wrong here. But that sounded like an incredible experience.
It certainly was. It certainly was. Just the care and the pride of the team members, the veterans, the pilots, the appreciation they had for the history of their passion. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. We flew out over Lake Superior and came back in, and it was about a 30-minute flight, and I mean, it was joy. It was unbelievable.
Good for you. Eric Nelson with Essentia Health, thanks for being with us again. We appreciate it. And thank you for being a sponsor again to make this all possible. We're going to take a quick break and thank those sponsors who make this event possible.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, TKI, the Ridgeview Country Club, DQ Grill and Chill, Daymark Designs, Northland Fitness, Grandma's Restaurant, The Residence Inn, Johnson, Killen and Sealord, Brame Corner Gallery, Anytime Fitness, Country Inn and Suites, Audio Visual Resources, Lynette's Portrait Design, RS&H, Arrowhead Transit, RJ Sport and Cycle, Jamar, Destination Duluth, Barker's Island Inn and Resort, and the Holiday Inn Express.
For 90 years, we believed something simple, that the heart of a community isn't made of brick or stone. It's made of people. People who trust us with their dreams, their milestones, and the moments that shape a life. We've stood by our members because peace of mind is the greatest return we can offer. So here's to our members, to 90 years of stories, and to the many still to come. Members Cooperative Credit Union. Stronger communities, happier employees, a better world. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about what you're pulling in and more about what you're putting out there. Rich is being there for their first step.
What do you think of it?
And sometimes letting them have the last word. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts. Edward Jones.
Well, welcome back, everyone. A lot of great booths for folks to visit here at the Air and Aviation Expo. And one of those booths that you may have a chance to stop at is the Bong Historical Center. They're actually right behind us here. They've got a great truck out here. And joining us again this year is their Director John Gildy. Thank you so much for being a part of the show again. We really appreciate it. Tell us what's happening over at the Historical Center this summer.
It's been a crazy summer, rolling right off of the field trip season at the end of the school year into our educational programs. Right now we have our party in New Guinea that's making a second trip over there, Mission March Phase 2. They visited the wreck site of the original March plane that we found in 2024 and saw that it's secure and safe and that sort of thing, and connected with the people over there. We've got a sister city program going with them there. We're here this week. We're super excited that this year there's a P-38 here. We got to host a little reception for our pilot Steve, who flew into the Bong Airport in Superior and landed the P-38, and we had a little press conference there. That was an awesome day. I mean, just to see a P-38 in the skies over Superior, pretty amazing.
It really is. Okay, we've been tracking this search for with you for 3 years. I think this is the third year I've interviewed you now about this. So it's been found. What are the next steps now from here?
Well, we should have some pretty good information here in a couple of days from the crew. We tried to link up with them actually yesterday and didn't have a good connections there because they are kind of out in the jungle. Basically, that's where the crash site is. But they've revisited a second time. Everything's still intact. The government in New Guinea has promised to secure that site and protect it for posterity. We established a plaque. They actually named the school in the village closest to the crash site the Richard Bong School, which is pretty darn cool. We sent a bunch of supplies, school supplies, over to them because they basically have nothing. And we, on a humanitarian mission, we actually connected them to a water source. The school was a mile away from the nearest water source. So we have helped them lay a pipe right up to the school. And they're in Port Moresby right now, the team, and talking with the National Museum of New Guinea and Art Gallery, and we're talking about what the next step is. So it's going to continue in one way, shape, or form, and we're excited to see what it is. So
we jumped the gun. Yeah, no kidding. Stay tuned. Next year, we'll probably have more to talk about. Yeah. We jumped the gun a little bit, though, because you and I know what we're talking about. But for those folks who may have no idea what we're talking about, talk about the significance of this aircraft and the mission that your team was on.
Yeah, it's really the plane that kind of made Richard Bong famous as well. He did well enough on his own, shooting down 40 aircraft in the South Pacific. But when he slapped his fiance's picture on the nose of the plane, and it was blown up pinup style, like today they'd say the news became viral. It went off. The plane was famous. They kind of became America's sweethearts. But that plane, he flew about 20 missions in it, I guess, scored about 3 victories, I think. And that plane crashed while he was on a press junket, I believe. And a different pilot was flying it. Pilot bailed out and it crashed in the jungles of New Guinea. And because there was nothing critical, no fatality or anything confidential, I imagine, on the plane, they never investigated. They just kind of left it be there. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of wrecks like that all over New Guinea. And it sat there, and basically our curator, it was on her mind to figure out if that plane was still there. And lo and behold, we connected with Pacific Wrecks and Justin Talon, and he had experience finding wrecked planes down in New Guinea. And he said, if it's there, I'll find it. And he found it. And it's there, and it amazed us. And it's been big news ever since, and we've been trying some way to connect it back to the museum, and we have, I think, with the people and that sort of thing, and we're going to continue to do that.
Great work. It's wonderful. Tell us what folks can see here at your booth at the Aviation Expo.
Great questions. Thanks for asking. We have all things P-38 related. If you're looking for a P-38 toy, a Lego set, a T-shirt, a hat, anything like that, come by and see us. We've got plenty of Richard Ira Bong T-shirts. This one's a pretty popular seller. The legend continues. It's got his victory tour on the back. So, all sorts of things like that. Information about the Bong Center. Come and talk to us. We'll tell you. We're right across the bridge. It'd be a shame if you're a P-38 enthusiast, you're here for the air show, you don't pop over and see it. So, we're open today 9 to 5, tomorrow noon to 5, and Monday through Friday 9 to 5 over there at the Bong Center.
John, thanks again for being with us. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break and thank our supporters.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, Lakeshore Ice, the Holiday Inn and Suites downtown Duluth, Circle K, the Comfort Inn, the Hampton Inn, Canal Park Lodge, Lake Superior College, True by Hilton, Halver Lines, Lift Bridge Lodge, Arrow Point Medical Center, the Duluth International Airport, Suites at Waterfront, MLV Minnesota, and Northrop Grumman.
It's the call answered at midnight. The answer found in time. The fear made smaller, and the dream made bigger. It's care across specialties and specialists who care. This is who we are, and every moment, every heartbeat, every tomorrow is what we care about.
Open your eyes. Open your
Every day, people around the world are discovering what it means to fly for themselves in a Cirrus.
finding my way through the dark. Open your eyes.
Start your journey in personal aviation by visiting cirrusaircraft.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, one of the teams who are focused more on the sky today than probably the performers or the air show leadership team, it's our friends over at the National Weather Service. They are a big part of making sure that this event takes off flawlessly. See what I did there? Joining us now is meteorologist Patrick Ide. He is with the Duluth office of the National Weather Service. Thank you for joining us, sir. You've got a busy weekend, but it's busy in a different way.
Yeah, right. For last year we were talking about how it was a lot more thunderstorms we were having to track. So that's one problem, right? This year's a little bit of a different problem, right? The heat, right? So it's good to be flying, right? But it's not good for the med team, right? And so we got a heat advisory today, likely going to have an excessive heat warning for tomorrow. So our med team, which we interviewed, I know a couple segments before, they're going to be busy. And to help make them less busy, let's try to stay hydrated, right? Because there's not a lot of shade, especially families with those little kiddos, got chronic conditions, maybe our older attendees. Really take care of yourself so that they don't have to take care of you.
So you talked some big words there like excessive heat warning, heat watch, blah, 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 blah. Break it down. What does that mean? What are people going to feel when they're out here?
It's be hot. How about that? It'll just be hot. So today will be, I guess, cool compared to tomorrow, but it's still going to be pretty darn warm out there. So 86, 85 degrees for a high temperature today. Definitely it's humid out. A little bit of a breeze from the southwest. Tomorrow will be even hotter. High temperatures in the lower 90s. It's going to feel like the mid to upper 90s. Maybe we'll have a little bit more of a southwest breeze, but either way, we're on an airport, a lot of concrete, a lot of tarmac. It's going to be hot. So no matter the advisory or the warning, it's going to be hot. So.
I was actually talking with the doctor from Essentia about that because people don't realize they may have that nice breeze coming in their window on their drive here, but then you get here to the Duluth International Airport and you're on the blacktop tarmac. It just feels different.
Right, and there will be no lake breeze from Lake Superior to save us today, right? So, exactly. It's, for those who are coming in, a lot of folks are coming in from, say, the Twin Cities. I mean, it's going to feel like the Twin Cities in July, right, in Duluth. So no lake breeze today to save us. So, exactly. Take care of yourself. You can easily get behind on hydration, and then you're going to be going to Essentia and their med team to help you there. So let's try to avoid that.
Any potential impacts for our performers today with clouds or visibility? That's always a big issue for them.
Yeah, everything's looking pretty good for flight weather today. About a 5% chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon, but that means a 95% chance of no, right? So really looking good today. Tomorrow looks dry. So if you're flying, it's going to be good for the show. And if you're on the ground, just keep the fluids going. So.
Well, thank you for coming and being a part of the show. You have a busy weekend being here, watching the skies for us. So thanks a lot, Patrick. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We have a special air show performer coming up next, so stay with us.
The Duluth Airshow, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union, would like to thank all of our sponsors and partners for helping us host the largest air show in Minnesota. Please join us in thanking Essentia Health, Members Cooperative Credit Union, TKI, the Ridgeview Country Club, DQ Grill and Chill, Daymark Designs, Northland Fitness, Grandma's Restaurant, The Residence Inn, Johnson, Killen and Sealord, Brame Corner Gallery, Anytime Fitness, Country Inn and Suites, Audio Visual Resources, Lynette's Portrait Design, RS&H, Arrowhead Transit, RJ Sport and Cycle, Jamar, Destination Duluth, Barker's Island Inn and Resort, and the Holiday Inn Express.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about what you're pulling in and more about what you're putting out there. Rich is being there for their first step.
What do you think of this?
And sometimes letting them have the last word. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts. Edward Jones.
For 90 years, we believed something simple, that the heart of a community isn't made of brick or stone. It's made of people. People who trust us with their dreams, their milestones, and the moments that shape a life. We've stood by our members because peace of mind is the greatest return we can offer. So here's to our members, to 90 years of stories, and to the many still to come. Members Cooperative Credit Union. Stronger communities, happier employees, a better world. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to the 2026 Duluth Air and Aviation Expo, presented by Essentia Health and Members Cooperative Credit Union. What a great way to end the show here today. We have one of our featured performers, Britt Lincoln. She's been here before. She's a lovely human being, and it's great to have you back. You compete in aerobatic flying competitions, of course winning most of them. Talk about what it means to be back in the show this year.
It's so great to be here in Duluth. I really, really love this show. This is my third time here, and of course Duluth is absolutely beautiful. You know, it's great to walk down along the canal. The crowd here is phenomenal, really exciting, and the organization. This is just, you know, Ryan and Kern Company. They do a really, really great job of putting this on. They're really well organized, and it's always a pleasure to be here and fly.
What makes the Duluth Air and Aviation Expo different from others that you go to? You're all over the country all the time. What is the draw to come back here and say, yes, I want to do the Duluth show again?
You know, like I said, the organization is really great. You know, they treat us well, they treat the performers really well, and this crowd is just phenomenal. They're really excited, and they're really engaging and welcoming and warm and friendly, and it's great to be here. And of course, it's always wonderful to see you, Jason.
It's that Midwesternness, you know, we're oh yeah, we like that. Okay, let's talk about you. You're a fourth generation pilot. You're the first female pilot in your family. How did that love of flying get started in your family?
Yeah, so as you said, I'm a fourth generation pilot. My great-grandfather and my grandfather were both crop dusters in north central Montana, and I was fortunate enough, I grew up with a grass strip just right in front of my house where I watched my family take off from every morning to go spray crops, and I was actually 6 days old the first time I was ever in an airplane, so I don't really remember it, but it was just instilled in me from a very early age.
Now, it was instilled in you, but you didn't always do this as a career. This was kind of a late shift. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I grew up with it, and I think like most teenagers, right, I sort of took it for granted, and I enjoyed it, and my father taught me to fly, but I didn't actually get my license until after I had graduated from college and had a career. I had a career in finance for almost 15 years before I transitioned to doing this. So.
From boring numbers to doing aerobatics in the sky. What a life change that is. So speaking of, I hear you're a member of the U.S. Unlimited Aerobatic Team, and you're going to be representing the U.S. on the world stage. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's such an honor, right? I mean, I'm one of the very few people who can represent the United States at the world level in competition, and it's something that I take a lot of pride in. And we have a fantastic team. It's the U.S. Unlimited Aerobatic Team, as you said. And this year we have the good fortune to be having the World Championships here in the United States. It's the first time in 15 years, and of course on America's 250th, that's really fantastic. It's going to be in Mason City, Iowa, so not too far from here, August 23rd through September 2nd. So if anybody's interested in making the trek down to Mason City to come check it out, it's a lot of fun, and like I said, it's a fantastic opportunity, and I'm really proud to be representing the U.S.
Tell us about what that competition is like. If I were to go to it, describe to me what that event is like.
Absolutely. It's a very different discipline than airshow flying. It's all about absolute precision. I use the analogy a lot with figure skating. A lot of people are kind of the equivalent of Olympic level figure skating, where it's all judged and it's about precision, and air shows is more like Disney on ice, right? It's the showmanship and the music and the smoke, and so that's kind of the difference between the two.
You are from Montana. We don't hold that against you, but we do hear that you also have a Minnesota connection. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I do. I actually lived in south of the cities for a few years when I was younger, and then after I graduated from high school in Montana, I went to college in Moorhead. I went to college at Concordia. So go Cobbers.
I lived in Fargo for a while, right across the river.
Great.
So tell us what folks are going to see from Britt Lincoln in the skies today.
Absolutely. So I am flying a red and silver extra 330 SC. It's a single place aerobatic monoplane, and I really incorporate a lot of my competition into my airshow performance. So it's a lot of precise stops, hard stops, and then I also incorporate some of those gyroscopic and tumbly maneuvers into it that are a little more airshowy. And I have to also give a big shout out and thank you to Super One Foods, who have sponsored me here again for the third time, and they're the reason why I'm able to be here, and I really appreciate. They've been really great to me and fantastic. So thank you to Super One.
Britt, you're one of those performers that we all sit there in our chair and just like gasp, and we don't breathe until you're back on the ground, but you probably love that about it.
Well, that's kind of what about the air show. None of this is made up. It's all very practiced, but there's a portion of making it look out of control, but it's all very, very in control. We don't do anything here that we've never done before, and it's all about safety. Safety is the number one priority.
Well, you make the chaos look really great. So Britt Lincoln, thanks for being with us again, and enjoy Airshow weekend. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to do a couple of last reminders for you, for those of you who are still at home getting yourself ready to come here. Let's talk about parking, because you're probably going to be in your vehicle getting ready to come here. Please purchase your parking ahead of time and go to DuluthAirshow.com to buy those parking tickets. They are sold nowhere else, only at DuluthAirshow.com, so please beware of scammers. Also, just a reminder, the orange lot is sold out for today. You'll want to check the website to make sure that it is available for tomorrow. As of now, teal and green are still available. Again, patience are key. You are coming to an event with thousands of people, so lines will be long, waits will be long. Parking lots are all run by volunteers who are helping raise money for their organization, so they're working hard to make this event as smooth as possible. And again, the story of this weekend is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Drink lots of water, bring your sunscreen, bring your sunglasses, a hat, and make it a wonderful air show weekend. For all of us here at the Air Show pre-show team, have yourself a great weekend. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30 for another round. Have a great weekend, everyone.